T.M.I. We all know what T.M.I. stands for, right? Too much information. But it also stands for the tiny mad idea. So I hope this is not too much information. You can let me know. But I thought I would do another video today about the tiny mad idea. And maybe just add some things. Yesterday's video was like 30 minutes long. This video hopefully won't be as long, but I thought we'd look again at this section, the last section of chapter 27 in A Course in Miracles. And this section is called The Hero of the Dream. Hero is in quotations. And the original title in Helen's handwritten notebook was Laughing Away the Tiny Mad Idea. So the tiny mad idea is an idea that actually was talked about earlier in the Course. In several different places, Jesus mentions the tiny mad idea. This is before he mentions it here. In this chapter, he mentions this tiny mad idea. But he doesn't really go into what it was exactly. And now in chapter 27, he famously says this: "Let us return the dream he gave away unto the dreamer who perceives the dream as separate from himself and done to him. Into eternity, where all is one, there crept a tiny mad idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. In his forgetting, did the thought become a serious idea and possible of both accomplishment and real effects. Together, we can laugh them both away and understand that time cannot intrude upon eternity. It is a joke to think that time can come to circumvent eternity, which means there is no time." Which means there is no time. I'm not exactly sure why means is in italics. I'll have to think about that one. And then the other thing to talk about is it says, together we can laugh them both away. What does it mean by both? What is that referring to? Let's read it again for a second. Into eternity where all is one, there crept a tiny mad idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. In his forgetting did the thought become a serious idea and possible of both accomplishment and real effects. Together we can laugh them both away. So is the both here the accomplishment and real effects? Is that what the both is? I'm not sure, actually. And I didn't think about that until really this moment. We'll have to think about that. And if anyone wants to post a comment, please do. So into eternity where all is one. Oneness is a very important aspect of the Course. It speaks of oneness. Even the word atonement has the word one in it. The atonement principle is the key principle of the entire Course. What is atonement? Some people say, they split it up into at-one-ment, which is kind of cute, and it does make sense in a certain respect. Ken Wapnick, though, said that the atonement principle is not that. The atonement principle is essentially that there was never, ever separation from God. That's an impossibility. It never happened, never could happen, never did happen. The tiny mad idea is a metaphor trying to get at, if nothing really happened, why do we think that it did? Why does this world seem so real to us? Why does the illusion seem so goddamn real. Gosh darn real, however you want to say it. The tiny mad idea is a way to talk about this in such a way that we can understand, maybe get a grasp. But don't take the tiny mad idea seriously either. That's what I would say is don't take this as more than what it is. It's metaphor. It's Jesus trying to talk about what cannot really be talked about in words, trying to make it understandable to us. And also, Jesus has a method here. And the method, I believe, is to help us not take this world so seriously. There's that great line in the Indigo Girls song, Closer to Fine, right? And the best thing you've ever done for me is to help me take my life less seriously. I believe that Emily, who wrote the song, was talking to Jesus there. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. She's the only one that knows. But Jesus is trying to help us take our life less seriously, right? To learn to laugh at things more than not. And because we know that when we get into our ego, things start to get very serious, right? When we get upset or when we get angry, we cannot see at all, and we're not open to seeing or hearing any kind of lightheartedness about it. That's just that's sacrilegious to bring any humor into the situation. But maybe the humor is exactly what we need, what we all really need. And I want to say, let me just say this. This is probably getting a little off topic, but not really. We did an ayahuasca ceremony, and people weren't really feeling the ayahuasca so much in terms of like the actual experience, like the visuals and the fractal patterns and so on. But all of a sudden, it was 3 women that were in the ceremony, and they were having the funnest time. They couldn't stop laughing, actually. And that happens, I think, with mystical experiences. Sometimes people have these laughing fits and they cannot stop laughing. I've had that myself. I had that once to the extent that my face felt transfigured. That it was the transfiguration right there. So anyway, my point being that Jesus's method here is to help us to not take what is not really truly real, to not make it such a serious thing. Right? Ultimately, it's not real. And if it's not ultimately real, it's not real now either. Right? We can't see that. We don't see that. We kind of have to take it on trust. And we all have deep trust issues. And it's hard to trust the Course. Why should we trust the Course? It's just one of, it's one theory. It's another belief system. Why should I trust it? And that's something that each person has to decide for themselves, whether they feel that the Course is trustworthy or not. And some people obviously don't. Some people say it's satanic. It's from, it's coming from a demonic source, or maybe a source that is seeking to delude humanity, not uplift humanity. So, that is something that everyone has to determine for themselves. We could do a video just on that subject alone. Maybe I will at some point. But let's let's go back to this. Into eternity where all is one, the oneness, right? We got off on that because of the oneness. Talking about the oneness, atonement, nothing happened in reality. God has always been God. God is. Love is. That has never changed. That can never change. Nothing you can do can change eternal love, is one of the great lines of the Course. Nothing you can do can change eternal love. Into eternity where all is one, there crept a tiny mad idea at which the Son of God remembered not to laugh. Now I said that remembering not to laugh is a good thing, actually. The Son of God wasn't supposed to laugh at the tiny mad idea. So that, in a sense, that was the appropriate response, was the Son of God remembered not to laugh at this crazy idea. That was the appropriate response. But then it goes on to say, in his forgetting did the thought become a serious idea and possible of both accomplishment and real effects. So the Son of God, which is all of us, you could say, this is a metaphor, because we're talking in dualistic language, dualistic terms that are in time and space. But we're talking about something outside of time and space, so we can't really, that's why this is all metaphor. This is all symbolic. In his forgetting did the thought become a serious idea and possible of both accomplishment and real effects. So it's saying that the Son of God remembered not to laugh, which was the right response. But then it says that the Son of God forgot to laugh. And because the Son of God forgot to laugh, it had real effects. So there's kind of a paradox here. Jesus seems to be saying two different things, which is there was the appropriate response, but the appropriate response also was not the appropriate response on some level. And the level, what is the level that in which it's not appropriate? It's not appropriate in the sense that it seemed to make what is not real, meaning the tiny mad idea. It made the tiny mad idea, by not laughing at it, it gave reality to that idea, right? And the idea took on accomplishment and real effects. Together we can laugh them both away. Now the both seems to be referring to accomplishment and real effects. It was never accomplished, and it has no real effects. That's my understanding of that. And understand that time cannot intrude upon eternity. Time cannot intrude. It is a joke to think that time can come to circumvent eternity, which means there is no time. So this began with into eternity where all is one. Into eternity, there crept a tiny mad idea. No, there didn't. Where did the tiny mad idea come from? Where did it creep in from? Isn't there a Bob Dylan song where, the shelter from the storm? I crept in from the wilderness, a creature devoid of form. Right? Crept in. How did it creep in? Where did it come from? It doesn't even say that the Son of God thought of that idea. It doesn't say it came in from the Son of God himself or ourself. It said it crept in. This tiny mad idea crept in. That's one of the fascinating things about it. Anyway, let's read on, because I didn't get to the rest of this chapter, and we'll just read on, and it's a lot of things you can do this with the whole course. You can go line by line, word by word, and really try to get at the deeper significance. And I think when you do that kind of careful reading, you do see certain things that you didn't see before. And, it's been said God is in the details, right? I think that there's there's truth to that when it comes to the Course, is that careful reading of the Course is rewarding and will give you access to dimensions that were a secret before. A timelessness in which is time made real, a part of God that can attack itself, a separate brother as an enemy, a mind within a body, all are forms of circularity whose ending starts at its beginning, ending at its cause. It's circular. The world you see depicts exactly what you thought you did, except that now you think that what you did is being done to you. The guilt for what you thought is being placed outside yourself. The guilt for what you thought is being placed outside yourself and on a guilty world that dreams your dreams and thinks your thoughts instead of you. It brings its vengeance, not your own. It keeps you narrowly confined within a body, which it punishes because of all the sinful things the body does within its dream. You have no power to make the body stop its evil deeds because you did not make it and cannot control its actions, nor its purpose, nor its fate. Jesus is reminding us that yes, we can, because we made this up. We made the world and we made the body. We just made it on a level at which we're not currently aware, but it is still there. If we go down deep enough, we will understand that. The world but demonstrates an ancient truth. There's the word ancient again. The ancient is used a lot in the Course. You will believe that others do to you exactly what you think you did to them. But once deluded into blaming them, you will not see the cause of what they do because you want the guilt to rest on them. Garden of Eden story, right? What was the problem there? Everyone blamed each other, right? Snake blamed God. Eve blamed the snake. Adam blamed Eve. And they all got cursed as a result, right? We push the blame outside of ourselves. We do not take responsibility. We want to see ourselves as innocent, and the only way we think we can do that is by making someone else guilty. How childish is a petulant device to keep your innocence by pushing guilt outside yourself, but never letting go. It is not, and that was an exclamation. Never letting go. It is not easy to perceive the jest when all around you do your eyes behold its heavy consequences. That's what I was saying before. It's hard to laugh in the face of the seriousness of suffering. Who can do that? Who would even dare to do that? Some people would, but most people would not, because we don't want to minimize other people's suffering or our own. But when it comes to our own suffering, yes, we can learn to laugh at it. We can learn to let it go. But without their trifling cause. So it is not easy to perceive the jest when all around you do your eyes behold its heavy consequences, but without the trifling cause. Without the cause do its effects seem serious and sad indeed. Yet they but follow, and it is their cause that follows nothing and is but a jest. The tiny mad idea, right? It is their cause that follows nothing and is but a jest. We'd have to think about that one. I'm not ready to speak to that. Actually, there's something that's being said there that is important, but I'm not quite there yet. In gentle laughter does the Holy Spirit perceive the cause and look not to effects. So the Holy Spirit sees this all started as a joke. This all started with this crazy idea, right? And it never left, right? Ideas leave not their source, right? So it's still there. That tiny mad idea, it's still happening right now. The tiny mad idea is happening in this moment. In gentle laughter does the Holy Spirit perceive the cause. Gentle laughter, not derisive laughter, not scornful or mocking laughter, but gentle laughter. In gentle laughter does the Holy Spirit perceive the cause and look not to effects. How else could he correct your error, who have overlooked the cause entirely? Why do we overlook the cause? We're not in touch with the cause. We're not in touch with that. The Course is trying to put us, Jesus in the Course is trying to help us get in touch with that. He bids you bring each terrible effect to him, that you may look together on its foolish cause and laugh with him a while. You judge effects, but he has judged their cause. And by his judgment are effects. And what is his judgment? The gentle laughter, right? And by his judgment are effects removed. Perhaps you come in tears, but hear him say, my brother, Holy Son of God, behold your idle dream in which this could occur. And you will leave the holy instant with your laughter and your brothers joined with his. This is just like the Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna is crying at the beginning, and Arjuna is crying, and Krishna is smiling. He's beginning to laugh, and Krishna starts to say, the real has no, the unreal has no permanence. The real has no non-existence. The wise understand this. The soul is immortal. You are immortal. That is your ultimate reality. Do not grieve. Understanding this, do not grieve. Does not bring in the tiny mad idea, obviously, but it's saying essentially the same thing. The secret of salvation is but this, that you are doing this unto yourself. No matter what the form of the attack, this still is true. You are doing this to yourself, right? Again, you made this up. You and everyone else. But you are everyone else. You know, that's the thing, is that you are everyone. There's only one mind, right? There's only one of us here. There is only one Son of God. Jesus says that in the Course. It is important to point out there is only one Son. God only has one Son, right? There's not many. In reality, there's only one Son. But even beyond that, the one Son is one with God. So there's no Son in reality either. There's only the oneness. This is all symbolic, right? Just keep that in mind. This is not literal. Otherwise, it wouldn't be non-dualistic. And it seems to be getting at non-duality, right? Although, the non-duality, well, that's something we would need to talk about more. I don't want to get off on that topic right now. No matter what the form of attack, this is still true. Whoever takes the role of enemy and of attacker, still is this the truth. Whatever seems to be the cause of any pain and suffering you feel, this is still true. For you will not react at all to figures in a dream. You knew that you were dreaming. Let them be as hateful and as vicious as they may. They could have no effect on you unless you fail to recognize it is your dream. So you're dreaming this, and you're getting mad or upset at figures in your dream that you're dreaming, right? Let us return the dream to the dreamer. That's how this started, right? You are the dreamer of the dream. Why would you get upset about something that is coming from your own mind? This single lesson learned will set you free from suffering, whatever form it takes. This is the answer to suffering. The problem of suffering, sometimes people call it the problem of evil. I think the problem of suffering might be a better way to put it. This is a theological problem that is age-old theological problem, theodicy, the problem of suffering. Why do people suffering? And the Course is giving its answer. You are doing this unto yourself. No one is doing this except you. You are the cause of your own suffering. And you can undo that. The Holy Spirit will repeat this one inclusive lesson of deliverance until it has been learned, regardless of the form of suffering that brings you pain. Whatever hurt you bring to him, he will make answer with this very simple truth. For this one answer takes away the cause of every form of sorrow and of pain. The form affects his answer not at all, for he would teach you but the single cause of all of them, no matter what their form. And you will understand that miracles reflect a simple statement. Quote, I have done this thing. This is italics, I have done this thing. And it is this I would undo. I have done this thing, and is this I would undo. I did it, and I can undo it. Bring then all forms of suffering to him who knows that every one is like the rest. That's the Holy Spirit. Bring it to the Holy Spirit. He sees no difference where none exists, and he will teach you how each one is caused. None has a different cause from all the rest, and all of them are easily undone by a single lesson truly learned. The cause is just that tiny mad idea of the idea of separation, right? That is the cause. Salvation is a secret you have kept but from yourself. The universe proclaims it so. It's an interesting line. The universe proclaims it so. The universe is the one song of the universe, right? Yet to its witnesses you pay no heed at all, for they attest the thing you do not want to know. So the song is going on all around us. We're just not listening, right? It's like, if we just listen to music, if we really listen to music, that's all we would need to know. But who listens to music? Who really listens to music? They seem to keep it secret from you, yet you need but learn, you chose but not to listen and not to see. You do not have the eyes to see or the ears to hear. That is your problem. You're willfully resisting. I'm talking to you. How differently will you perceive the world when this is recognized? When you forgive the world your guilt, you will be free of it. Its innocence does not demand your guilt, nor does your guiltlessness rest on its sins. This is the obvious, a secret kept from no one but yourself. And it is this that has maintained you separate from the world and kept your brothers separate from you. Now need you but to learn that both of you are innocent or guilty. The one thing that is impossible is that you be unlike each other. So now you need but to learn that both of you are innocent or guilty. You're either both innocent, you and the person that you hate right now, right? You're either both innocent or you're both guilty. You can't be both. And you cannot be unlike each other. So you both have to be innocent or you both have to be guilty. So which is it? Jesus is saying, in this world, you may both share guilt, right? But in ultimate reality, you are both completely innocent, right? And that is the truth. You are both innocent. The one thing that is impossible is that you be unlike each other, that they both be true, right? You can't be both guilty and innocent, or one of you is innocent, the other guilty. No, you're both innocent or you're both guilty. Jesus is saying you're both innocent. This is the only secret yet to learn, and it will be no secret you are healed. Right? This is the secret. And it will be no secret. I mentioned yesterday in my video that Jesus ends on a joke there, right? He ends on a play on words, which is great. It's a great way to end that section, is with a little joke. I want to mention, I have this book. It's out on Amazon. This is a crazy book. This is my son here, Sonny. And the book is called No Joke. And this is the kind of book that is so crazy that only crazy people would understand it. I had a lot of fun writing it, and maybe that's all that, I don't know if it's ever going to get out there on any kind of level. But anyway, I have a little section about this rapper in here called T.M.I. Like, kind of like T.I, right? But T.M.I, the rapper, and he's rapping about the tiny mad idea. And I'm not going to read it right now because this video is already 30 minutes. So, but that's why I'm going to call this video "Rapping About the Tiny Mad Idea." And I'd like to say that my code name, my rapper name is T.M.I. So see I'll see you later. Thank you so much for listening, and remember today to laugh a little bit more. Thank you.